Hey, welcome to our show. You know, this is Jason, a special day for many of us.
I hear you have an awesome guest today.
We have a fantastic four people that are coming on, and the first one is awesome. The second one is awesome, and the third and fourth are awesome. It's just amazing how many awesome people we have today.
Well, let's not keep our listening audience in suspense.
Well, this is sort of a special day. First of all, there's going to be graduation of the students here at the University of Rio Grande and Rio Grande Community College. And you're going to be there to congratulate all the students, I bet.
I will be. I'll be there bright and early tomorrow morning for breakfast with the graduates, as well as commencement practice. So we'll make sure that everyone can get in the right line and the right names come up.
I think that
right names come up when they're called.
I think that's fantastic.
And then I get to introduce a lot of those individuals that are graduating. So I'm going to be the voice behind the name.
That is fantastic. That is fantastic. And it's interesting. A number of the students come from the School of Business, the Emerson E. Evans School of Business. And you are the chairperson there.
We do. We have several individuals that are graduating this year. I'm sorry I don't have those numbers in front of me, but I think there's roughly around 40 graduates.
I understand.
Out of the School of Business this year.
I think that's fantastic. Then our 2 o'clock show, we have Mike Thompson. Mike is the director of the instructional media and let's see, I said it wrong. The director.
Instructional Design and Media Services.
That's correct. He's going to be talking about some of the new innovative programs that he's going to be involved with. And then at 3 o'clock, you're going to come back for the 3 o'clock show.
I am going to come back, and I'm going to help David and Donna.
And they're going to be making some awards and certificates presented to some of the really good students that have earned.
Right. We have an outstanding associate degree student in the School of Business and also an outstanding bachelor's degree student in the School of Business, and they're going to receive a special certificate. But it's my understanding that we also have outstanding students from other colleges across the campus that are going to join us and honor their students as well. So
I think
should
that's
be a
fantastic.
good hour.
Yes, I think so. But since we're going to talk with the awesome guest today, and the awesome guest, if you want to call it that, is Jason Winters. Jason has co-hosted our show, our business talk show, for many, many years. Jason started out when we were just doing radio, and we have a lot of unique stories that we could tell, but the time just isn't available. Jason also is the chairperson at the University of Rio Grande. He's the chair of the Emerson E. Evans School of Business, and you've had a number of years involved with the School of Business, have you not?
I have. I've been here at Rio for about 10 years, and I've been in the School of Business probably about 7.
7? And you've, I think, pretty much taught a lot of the unique classes, and you set up educational components, and I hope we can get into that and you can share some of the information that you have about that.
I'll save those comments until the end. You know,
Okay.
I'd rather focus on talking about our program today.
Okay, all right.
I really want to focus on the School of Business and what the School of Business is going to be doing in the next couple years. But I really, first of all, want to say, what is the School of Business? Well, you know, we have some very unique individuals in the school, faculty members, and I would like to highlight some of those. So I brought some pictures with me, so you don't have to look at my face the whole time. First of all, this is Bob Evans Farms Hall. It's located on the beautiful campus of the University of Rio Grande. It's right across from the soccer fields. It's one of the newer buildings on campus, and it is home to the School of Business, the Emerson E. Evans School of Business.
You know, Jason, it's my understanding that that building was built as sort of a bridgeway, a gateway for the educational university to greet and meet business people, and the business people to come in and get educated.
When the School of Business was set up, they actually created a community network of individuals that sat on an advisory board. So we would have members of our community actually telling us what they need in the community as far as educated individuals to fill those needs. So we have individuals in our community that are professionals that are giving us advice on how we should create programs and maintain our
I think that's
program.
fantastic.
So the next slide, I want to start talking about some of our faculty, because the faculty of the Emerson E. Evans School of Business really is what keeps our program going. And this first individual here, and they're in no particular order, but this is Dr. Gail Ball. Gail is an associate professor at the university. She's been there since 1999, and she has her PhD as well as an MBA and a bachelor's degree. Her doctorate work is in organizational behavior. She teaches a lot of the organizational behavior management courses for us. She also has, I think her undergraduate degree was in marketing, so she teaches some of our marketing courses for us. Now, Gail normally teaches a lot of our night classes. Gail works full-time in Jackson. She is one of the partners at Stockmeister's Heating and Cooling, and she runs that operation. So the nice thing about Gail is she doesn't just come in and teach a textbook. She brings a lot of real-world experience into the classroom.
I think that's very important.
It is. I think most of our students really appreciate that. So, you know, we really appreciate everything that Gail does for us. And so you can see Gail's picture there. That's the first faculty member I want to highlight today. But we're going to get through all of them.
Okay.
So I brought
All right.
several. The next one is Mr. Richard Campbell. Richard teaches accounting for us. He has his MBA in accounting and his undergraduate degrees in accounting as well. And Richard is a very unique individual. He teaches all levels of accounting at the University of Rio Grande. He also taught courses for us in the MBA program for accounting. But Richard, away from the college, he designed software programs for accounting. The Wiley Plus textbook, they hired him. He does the tutorials. So even at other institutions where they're using the Wiley textbook, if someone has a problem and they click on the tutorial, they will see and illustrate, and they will hear Richard's voice behind the illustrations, letting them know how to solve whatever problem it is that they're working on. So he is an abundance of information in the accounting field, and we're very fortunate to have him.
You talk about world experience also, because it's not in our area. He has to, in the summer, fly to Arizona.
He does a lot of his work in Arizona in the summertime, working for Wiley. I think he also has some family there. So yes, he spends a lot of his time there in Arizona. So our next faculty member is Dr. Wesley Taney. Wesley is an associate professor. He's been with the university since 2004, and he has his degrees from Ohio University, his bachelor's degree as well as his master's, and his doctorate degree is in marketing from North Central University. Wesley teaches mainly marketing for us at the university. He is in charge of our American Marketing Association. He takes a group of students every year to the national convention, which is held in New Orleans. And we have received several national awards because of their dedication and the presentations they've made in the conference in New Orleans.
I understand that it's not an easy thing to go through their coursework. You know that, and there's a lot of schools, including some Big Ten teams and SEC teams that are involved. So
yeah, so you know, our hats off to Wesley and the work he does with our American Marketing Association and our marketing program at Rio. Our next faculty member that I want to talk about is Mr. Roger Watson. Roger is an assistant professor. He's been with the university since 2002. He has his master's in organizational communication from OU. His bachelor's degree is from Kentucky Christian College. He also has a graduate work from the Stoner Graduate School of Banking, America. And Roger is a very unique individual. He teaches an awful lot for us, from management to marketing, but he was also highly involved in the creation of the banking program. Without him, our new banking program would not exist.
Right.
He teaches 4 of the 5 courses there. Roger, from a business and professional background, he was involved in real estate development in the Athens area. He also owned a gymnastics gym in the Athens area.
That's why he looks so fit.
Yes. I'll let you discuss that with him. But you know, he does an awful lot of work outside the educational realm. You know, he has a background in banking. You know, and so again, Roger, like Gail and several of our other faculty members, bring a lot of real-world experience into the classroom. So the student is just not involved in book work.
Well,
they get that real-world experience.
It seems like every year he takes students to New York City
He does.
and they get to go through and see what it's like to be involved with the New York Stock Exchange.
Roger has connections with the New York Stock Exchange. Roger's daughter is also an analyst at Goldman Sachs in New York. So, our students get the opportunity to go into Goldman Sachs, meet with some of those executives, and talk with people who are actually doing financing in the world's market. So, it's a wonderful experience for our students, and Roger has graciously volunteered to do that for our students for several years now. And it's a great opportunity. So we definitely thank him for that. He also is in charge of our strategic management program, which is the capstone course of all business. And year after year after year, our students rank top in the world in that competition. So, hats off to him and the work he does.
Yes, and just one other kind of thing. He rang the bell once at the stock exchange, didn't he?
I can't confirm that. I really can't confirm that. I know he has been there for the ringing of the bell several times, but I don't know that he has ever had the opportunity to ring it.
Well, we're going to bring him on, and that's going to be one of the questions that we'll ask
And
him.
if nothing else, we can set a bell there and we can let him ring our bell.
That's pretty good. So who else?
The next one is Mr. Chuck Winters, Charles Winters. And I'll just say right off the bat, Chuck and I are not related. We have had offices next to each other for our whole careers here. We're built about alike, but no, we're not related. We're good friends. But Chuck has been here at the university since 2007. He got his MBA here in the MBA program, our entrepreneurship program. He had his undergraduate degree from Bowling Green, and Chuck is currently working on his doctorate as well from North Central University. He's been a professor here. He was a senior project manager at Nationwide Hospital in Columbus, the Children's Hospital. And he's had several other jobs, but he brings a lot of real-world experience. He's also a small business entrepreneur.
Yeah.
That's not actually identified there on the screen, but his family's been in farming for years. He has actually farmed the family farm now for the last couple of years. So, he understands what it takes to make a dollar, and he brings that information in the classroom.
I once heard somebody say, "Oh, they're just a farmer. They're not in business," and that's not true.
Well, if you don't have business, you're not in farming very long.
Right.
Because if you don't have a
That's
market
right.
for whatever you're raising, you're going to go under quick.
And you also have to make sure that the money, because you don't get paid every month.
You get paid once a year.
Once a year.
When you bring in that corn
That's
crop,
right.
that's when he's receiving
That's
it.
right.
So,
And
yes.
so budgeting, wow.
Yeah,
Very
very much so. But Chuck runs our IT program, very actively involved in that, but he's also currently working on a project management degree. So our students can also get a certificate in project management.
that is becoming an important business skill.
Right. Chuck is also certified in that, and he's been researching what it takes to develop our program so that our students can
Good.
come out with a certification
Excellent.
as well. So,
Excellent.
Our next faculty member that I want to discuss, oh man, is me. Boy, that's
The
kind of
stories
embarrassing.
I could tell.
Yeah, this guy's a character, I'll tell you. Pat, I've been in entrepreneurship since I was 14 years old.
Yes.
I actually, even before I actually started at 12, I remember at age 12 I was mowing 12 yards a week. So, it runs in the family. My father was an entrepreneur, my grandfather was an entrepreneur, and to us it's a game that we really enjoy. I have owned several businesses. I had J&J Developments in Wellston. I had a funeral home in Wellston.
Now,
Currently,
you had a funeral home in Wellston.
I did for 8 years.
8 years. And, that is a tough business to get into.
It's an extremely tough business to get into. People, I always hear, it's a great business to get into. Everyone's dying. Well, that's not necessarily true,
Yeah.
So
Loyalty, family loyalty to a funeral home is important.
it is. That's one of
When
those.
you open up
those,
one.
one of those marketing aspects you really got to take into consideration. Just because you have, and this is not talking about funeral. This is any industry. Just because you have the latest and the greatest doesn't mean that somebody wants it.
You're right. You're
So-
absolutely right.
And again, I bring that to the classroom. We're talking about marketing and management and finances, and it's nice to bring some of those examples to the classroom and say, look guys, this is where I succeeded, this is where I didn't succeed.
Yes.
And these are the pitfalls you need to watch for. So I hope I've encouraged some. I do have my master's degree from Rio Grande. I have my
And you're
undergraduate from
studying.
Ohio State.
Yeah.
Yes, I have an associate degree from Cincinnati College of Mortuary Science, and I'm currently working on my doctorate with North Central. So,
And you're
and I'm
very
running two
close to it.
businesses. I'm running the farm and also the crematory.
Well,
so.
let's talk a little bit about your current businesses. You know, it's important, I think, for the faculty to have experience, but I think also it's very important that in your outside work, it's great to sit down on the couch. But I've never known you to be a person to just sit and relax. You know, you're doing stuff.
No, the sad part is, you know, when I sit down on my and I have a love seat that has a recliner, so I can't sit down and relax. But the problem with it is I usually have a laptop sitting on my lap, and I'm working on something when I'm doing that.
Yeah.
And it's not just me.
But
my wife is the exact same way.
Yeah, your wife is an OSU Extension agent.
She is. She's running the county 4-H program.
I think that's
and overseeing
fantastic.
our agriculture for the county. And yeah, there's many a nights that the evening news is coming on, and we're both sitting there working on laptops.
And you have two sons. One son is taking coursework here at the University of Rio Grande.
Absolutely. Both of them are in college. One of them is a freshman at Ohio State. The other one is actually a sophomore in high school, but he's doing all of his high school work here at Rio.
I think that's
So,
great.
yeah, so he's going to actually graduate from Rio with his associate degree at the same time that he gets his high school diploma.
Fantastic.
So
Fantastic.
we're very proud of both of our boys and the accomplishments they made. But I'll go ahead and put a plug in for PSO programs. It's a wonderful opportunity for individuals in our area, especially if they have transportation to the University of Rio Grande. They can take their coursework while they're in high school and get dual credit. They get their high school credit as well as college credit, and it is possible to graduate with your associate degree when you receive your high school diploma.
Well, now that's a result of the fact that really there's two schools here at the University of Rio Grande. There's the University of Rio Grande, and then there's the Rio Grande Community College.
Correct.
And they both interplay.
One could not exist without the other. I mean, the faculty here are actually employees of the university, but the community college is a state institution. It's partially funded through the state, so there is greatly reduced tuition. And it's a wonderful opportunity for individuals in our community that can take advantage of that. They're not just your traditional college courses, but you have your career technical courses. So you can come down here and get your certificate in welding. You can get your certificate in fine woodworking. There's a lot of those different programs where there's good jobs out there once you get your certificate. So it's not all traditional education.
That's very, very true. And I would imagine that as people get older, some of us get older, but as we get older, sometimes there are changes. We want to change our vocational direction. And sometimes it just needs a couple extra courses.
Pat, I still say I'm not sure what I want to do when I grow up and get old. You never know what tomorrow holds.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And education just does not stop at college graduation.
No, it absolutely does not. But a good education gives you the background and the experience to be able to make those moves.
That's true.
There's a lot of things in life that I wouldn't have been able to do without my education. It opened up an awful lot of doors and opened up a lot of different pathways. Some of them I wanted to walk down, some of them I did walk down. And that's what I tell my students when they're in class. You may be in business management right now. Who knows what you're going to be doing 20 years from now? 30 years from now or 30 years ago, I never thought I would be teaching at a college level. Never had any dreams or aspirations of that, but
life has a way of twisting and turning.
It does, and it's been an enjoyable ride.
And sometimes, in the business management, I'll speak with this. I like the way it's laid out because it helps students sort of focus in on now, but what if?
Right.
And I think that's an important class for many individuals to understand that 6 months down the road, the decisions we make today result 6 months from then.
Absolutely. Let's look at a couple more of our faculty members that we have. Dr. Govinda Gupta. Yes.
One of my favorites.
Govinda's been on the show multiple times. He is our economist.
Yes.
Did I say that right? Our economist. He teaches economics for the University of Rio Grande. He has his PhD in economics from New York University, his master's in economics from Ohio University. He has his MBA from the University of Hawaii, and I'm not going to be able to pronounce where he had his statistics degree.
But it was from Nepal.
Nepal. He is a native of Nepal. Our hearts go out to everything that's going on in Nepal right now. They had the earthquake there that created the avalanche, and so they're greatly recovering. Fortunately, his wife is actually back in Nepal right now. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
He was on the show a couple weeks ago, and he brought some pictures that showing the uniqueness of Kathmandu.
Yeah.
And I remember those pictures because now when you look at the devastation, wow.
Yeah, but Govinda is a very unique individual. He brings an awful lot to his classrooms. Govinda and his wife for many years owned a restaurant in New York City. So he brings that experience into the classroom. He's also done some work for the government there in Nepal, and he's done some economic analysis, and he just...
I think that's very important to have faculty people from all over the world.
It's nice. We've got a nice diverse mix.
Yeah.
Yeah. Diversity. Sometimes people struggle with dialects but for the most part, the knowledge that he brings to a classroom, just like we had that discussion last week when he was in here talking about Nepal. I learned something when he was talking.
Yeah.
So
I know.
Yeah, he brings an awful lot to the classroom, and we're very lucky to have him as well.
Now, University of Rio Grande and Rio Grande Community College is an international school. And you've had, and we've been very fortunate on our shows, business talk shows, to have some guests from co-hosts from England and China and India. There's a couple others, but it's been a while.
There's a lot of flags down there on Bevo Francis Drive.
Yes. And the interesting thing about your business, your school of business, that it's just not geared toward United States citizens. It's
it's international.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not southeastern Ohio.
Okay,
We focus internationally.
So tell us about some of them.
The next faculty member that we have is
I forgot Alan.
Alan's a very good friend of mine. Alan and I, we cry on each other's shoulders occasionally. We're both working on our doctorate. He's working in the same institution that I am. So every once in a while, we'll just sit down and we'll vent with each other. And we find that that's very cathartic, but it's also, it's good. Alan's been with the university since 2009. He has his Master of Arts degree from Marygrove. Bachelor of Science degree is from Ohio State University. We were actually at Ohio State at the same time. We realized we actually knew some of the same people when we were at Ohio State, but we had never crossed paths. Of course, that's easy to do when you're talking about 50,000 students. But yes, we both grew up in southeastern Ohio, so we have an awful lot in common. He also owns his own business. He is a partner in a software development company, and so he brings that into the classroom as well. He teaches mostly IT courses for us, some web design courses. So we're very fortunate to have Alan on board as well.
And his PhD and your PhD?
His PhD is focusing on the IT, information technology side. Mine is a business side.
Okay.
And then the next one, I believe, is a glue that holds us all together.
Yes.
This is Miss Linda Thivner. Linda is the secretary to the dean as well as the School of Business. She's been with the university since '98. And when you try to reach one of us faculty members and we're not around, that's who takes care of the students.
Yes.
We kind of think of her as a mother. So she is there for the students. She listens to them cry, and sometimes she whips them good.
See, we always thought you were the dad. So Linda's the mother.
Yeah.
It's good
I
to
guess
have
you can
two
do that.
parents that take care of the rest of us.
Sometimes we play bad cop and good cop.
So you're policemen too.
Well, unfortunately, yes. On many occasions we are.
So and you were able to bring some of the information on the business classes.
Well, I did. I want to talk about some of the direction that we're going. I know there's actually been a lot of misinformation out there that I want to clarify. First, for all of our current students that are listening, if you began one of our programs, you will finish one of our programs. We have actually cut back in a lot of different program areas. We will not be offering going forward a bachelor's degree in accounting, a bachelor's degree in marketing, a bachelor's degree in information technology. We've actually cut back. Those programs were really under-enrolled. We were only having a couple students a year actually graduating from them, and it just wasn't economically feasible. And we were finding that our students wanted those courses, and so we figured out a way to change what we were doing.
Well, you went through a lot of looking at the different courses. You know, it just was
We
not
did.
an overnight.
No, we actually looked, our accrediting body is the International Assembly of Collegiate Business Schools, or Business Enterprises, or Education. Isn't that terrible? Too many acronyms in my head.
I understand.
And one of the things we were looking at is we were looking at numbers, but we were also looking at delivery methods. We were looking at where, how the programs were coming back and being assessed, and we were looking at reviews of students. And what we were finding out was that we really needed to concentrate what we were offering and be more customer friendly. In the business world, we understand customer service,
Sure.
but in education, we weren't doing that great of a job.
Well,
we
and-
had a lot of students coming in, and they were getting conflicts. They couldn't take a class. They couldn't take
Yeah.
our business management class because the only time that they could take the English or statistics was the exact same time, and they were having nightmares of getting all their courses in.
I understand.
So we revitalized the program. And yes, we offer some of our coursework at the Vinton County Center, and we also offer some of that coursework in the Meigs County Center. So real quickly, I want to touch base on what we're doing as far as the program. The associate and the bachelor's, we will go back one, right there. We have laid it out so a new student coming in will graduate in 2 years with their associate.
Fantastic.
And 4 years in the bachelor's.
Fantastic.
That has almost been a joke in past because of so many time conflicts, and so many programs had actually grown beyond 120 hours.
Almost all colleges and universities got caught in that trap.
They did get caught in that trap. They were offering too many. They were putting too many courses
Yes.
in their programs. The Higher Board of Regents asked them to cut it back to 120, and that's exactly what we did.
Good.
So we have those courses. They're set up. All new students coming in are actually going into what we're going to call a cohort model, so they never have to do scheduling. I
Good.
will put them in all of those courses for first semester and all of those courses for second, and they're going to go through
Good.
it with a group. You know how I said about Alan and I, we were complaining about faculty together and we were leaning on each other's
Yeah.
shoulder. That's what that group can do.
Good.
So when they get into my class and they need someone to complain to, they can complain with their classmates, and they can carry that through, and they can help each other get through.
Well, that's sort of like the MBA program, how that is set up, isn't it?
So, it is, and we've kind of put that on hold. We'll talk about that at another show.
Okay.
We've only got a couple minutes, so I want to highlight a couple things.
Okay.
This program, the way this is set up, is a new student coming in will graduate in 2 years with their associate degree. That's that unique relationship that we have with community college. So we're focusing on completion of associate degree, but after the end of that first semester, that student is going to have to declare a certificate. So they will come out with their associate degree and a professional certificate in a given area. And we've picked those certificates in those areas in which they can get jobs in this area.
Very
So we
good.
have a certificate in healthcare administration, we have a certificate program in banking, and then the support areas, accounting, marketing, and information technology.
That is fantastic.
So after that first semester, they decide what direction they want to take. And then that is incorporated into those courses that are offered. So they don't have to pick up extra courses they need to get a specialization in another area. Then in addition to that, after they have their associate, they come back and they start working on their bachelor's degree program, and they continue and they receive a minor. So if they pick a healthcare administration, they have their associate in business management with a certificate in healthcare administration. Then they get their business degree, bachelor's degree in business management with a minor in healthcare administration.
Jason, where can students contact you for additional information?
The easiest way to reach me is by my email, and that is jwinters@rio.edu. That's jwinters@rio.edu.
And if you go to www.rio.edu, you can find you. Jason, I want to thank you very much. You have to come back on the show.
I think I will, Pat. This has been a pleasure.
Well,
You're such an easy guy to talk to. I was really afraid I was going to get on here and have to say yes.
Well,
No.
I was hoping to hear some amusing stories, but we ran out of time. I'm Patrick.
And I'm Jason.
Thank you for listening.